Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing well. I wanted to just make another quick video here to kind of talk about the other aspect of my work. My work as a medium. So many of you may not know what a medium is. A medium is someone who can perceive images, sounds, names, sometimes memories of people who have passed into the spirit world, those that we've lost in the physical life. And we do that in a variety of ways. I always tell people that no two mediums are exactly alike. A lot of people get mediumship confused with other metaphysical practices. So some people will come to me, wanting readings about their relationships, or they'll think I do tarot card readings, and I don't do any of those things. I have done relationship readings in the past, but mediumship is really where my passion lies. I love being able to give my clients evidence that their loved ones, and sometimes even their pets, survive the physical lifetime and they cross over into the afterlife. So what typically happens, when I'm getting messages as a medium, that happens in a variety of ways. So spirit will give me information through clairvoyance, which means clear seeing. And really what that is, spirit will show me in my mind's eye, they'll show me memories that they had during the physical lifetime. They'll often show me how they physically looked in the physical life. And it's funny because for every medium it's different. For me, they usually show me, their hairstyle and their hair color first. I don't know why that is, but then, once I get that, I start getting more information. They'll show me a little bit more information and a little bit more and a little bit more. It's almost like a puzzle piece coming together. And it usually doesn't even really make sense to me. Because the message isn't for me, it's for the client. But I get information through clairvoyance. I get information through a sense called clairsentience, which means clear feeling. So sometimes I won't actually see a spirit. Sometimes there'll be more of a feeling. And that might come through in a variety of ways. They might give me a sense through feeling what their personality was like, their emotional state. They might give me a feeling, connected with a part of the body, which might indicate, a health issue that they had in the physical lifetime, or the way in which they passed. They also give me information through clairaudience, so that means clear hearing. And so often they might give me, I might hear a name, or I might hear a sound, and that usually will help to kind of fill in the puzzle pieces. And then finally, they give me information sometimes through claircognizance, which means clear knowing. Sometimes I won't see information or feel information or hear it. Sometimes I just instinctively know it. And so one of the ways that spirit will prove to the client that they are in fact there and they are who they say they are, is they will reveal to me information that only they and the client would know. So I've heard people make accusations before that, oh my God, all mediums are frauds and this, that, and the other. and they just go look everything up on Facebook. Well, I wish I had that kind of time. But I always tell my clients, I'm like, please, before our session, I don't want to know anything about your loved one. It actually impedes my ability to connect with them if I know information about them ahead of time. So I like to just allow Spirit to show me the information that they choose to show me. And I don't even have control over what spirits choose to come through or step forward. Sometimes, I'll even get messages that aren't intended for the client, but rather for someone the client knows. Could be a family member, could be a friend, but sometimes other spirits that the client doesn't know will come through, and the client will go and talk with a family member, and they say, "Oh my God, that's my Uncle George," or that's my Aunt Sharon. Somebody the client didn't even know, and that's validation that we do survive this physical lifetime that this is not all there is. I even get pets that come through sometimes, and here lately it's been happening a lot more. So I might get a dog that somebody, like, I'll see the way their coat looked, I'll see the way, I'll get a sense of what breed they might have been, and I'll relay all this information to the client. And this might be a dog that they had when they were 4 years old, that they still remember. But all of that is validation. All of that confirms that we survive the physical lifetime, that there really is no death, that our personality goes on, even though our physical form does not. But yeah, I mean, they've even scientifically studied this. A number of organizations have, and one of them in particular is Windbridge Institute. So Windbridge Institute conducted a series of controlled scientific experiments where they tested various mediums to really get a sense of what is their actual sense of accuracy when they know nothing about the client or the client's loved one in advance. And they tended to find that the accuracy rates were pretty high, sometimes higher than 80 or 90%. And so I think of myself, I think of mediumship as not something I am doing. Spirit is doing it. I'm merely acting as an intermediary. I think of myself more as a language interpreter. Spirit is communicating with me in one language, and I'm putting it back together in another language that hopefully makes sense to the client. I've had people come back to me, even 2 or 3 weeks after their reading with me, things that they weren't able to identify at the time. And I'll get an email from them. They'll be, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, guess what happened?" And they'll tell me, I talked to so-and-so, and they confirmed they knew somebody that was exactly like you described. But I'd be happy to set up a time to talk with you about mediumship if you have an interest in that. They've even found, it's really interesting, but there's some research out now that suggests that mediumship may even be an effective adjunct to traditional grief therapy. It may help people work through their grief, and sometimes even in a more rapid way, where the grief doesn't have such a hold on us. Because losing a loved one is really, really hard. I lost my grandmother this past September, and I was really close to her. I actually saw her a week before she passed, and she was on the hospice care at the time. She had just gone on the hospice, And she hugged me. I was getting ready to leave her house. She hugged me. She started crying. She said, "I love you so much. I don't ever want you to forget that." And we were going, my husband and I, we were going to go back and visit her the next weekend. And that Friday, when we were getting ready to go back to visit, I was in a counseling session with a client, and I had an emergency call come through from my stepmother, and my client agreed to wait for just a couple of minutes, and my stepmother told me that my grandmother had passed just before. I mean, I was going to finish up with this client and then drive back to my grandparents' house, and my grandmother passed before I even had a chance to leave. But it's so funny because even since her passing, I will sense her around me. I've actually seen her. I've actually seen her around me. A lot of times, spirit will communicate too. By appearing in our dreams, especially if they're a particularly peaceful dream. If we wake up, feeling especially loved, that's usually a message from spirit. And my grandmother comes up in my dreams all the time. I know she's with me. I know she's still very much alive, just in a very different way. But I'd be happy to talk with you. Feel free to check out my website. There's more information on mediumship on there. It's briansharpcounseling.com. That's Brian with an I. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to talk with you, to answer any questions you may have. I'll be posting more videos on this topic as well. But feel free to reach out to me at Brian at mindfulvisioncounseling.com. But I look forward to talking with you, and I'll be posting more on this topic in the weeks to come. But I look forward to meeting with you, and I hope everyone has a great weekend. Bye.